And I mean, we all have to agree that RS, Audi Sport, is all about emotions. And as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't get any more emotionally packed than this car. This is my third encounter with the RS6 and my first with the new 2024 Performance. And as I've said in the past, if you've watched a few of my videos on Motor Illustrated, thank you so much. But this car absolutely gives me the fizzes. I mean, the hairs on my legs, don't look at my legs, are standing up, and I don't have any hair on my head, so that one's not standing up. But the point is that I am jazzed up. I am absolutely excited because this car it absolutely ticks every box. And in a way, I guess, to celebrate almost 30 years of Audi sports, Audi has brought out the performance versions of the RS6 and RS7. Yeah, I'm on an RS6, RS7 performance launch event, and I've looked at the RS7, but me and the RS6 are getting very intimate today. Yeah, so they've done a few changes. Visually, it's tough to see the difference between the C8 generation of the RS6 or the A6, which was introduced for the 2019 model year. But you know, we'll go over a few of the visual details in a few moments. But suffice it to say that with now 30 more horsepower than previously, revised drive select drive modes, and a little bit more grunt, this car has never been more attractive, more appealing, and has never got me more emotional about a station wagon in my life. Anyhow, I'm sure you want to find out a little bit more about this car. And I know I want to drive a bit more, so I'm going to shut up now. Then we're going to do the walk around, and then I'm going to shut up some more and then go for a drive, but I'll tell you all about that as we move on. So please hang in there. Thank you. Now, friend, I'm sure this is the face that we could all absolutely get used to waking up to every morning. I know I absolutely would. I mean, there's what do you say about a car that looks like this? Other than it's just spectacular. The view's not bad either, by the way. The changes visually very, very limited. In fact, I mean, blades I think are a little bit more aggressive. By the way, this car actually has all the carbon fiber options, which add an extra layer of goodness to this car. I mean, I've only ever really seen one with like the gloss black trim diffusers, and I don't know what it is. See, there you can see, like normally it's all gloss black like that, but now this one has the optional carbon fiber. It kind of makes the car look a little bit more grown up and even more exclusive. It absolutely incredibly works well. The color is called Dew Silver Matte. And I think you could probably see it on your screen right now. It's a combination of like a white, some gold, a little bit of green, and a tinge of silver in there. It is impossibly attractive. I mean, the RS6 over there, RS7, my bad, that's the new Ascari Blue. Matte, also nowhere near as attractive as this. And Ascari Blue is just fantastic. The other change too, which cut 20 kilos from the overall weight of the car, are these new 22-inch wheels. I need a moment. Maybe you do too. I don't know. They somehow look more aggressive but more subtle at the same time compared to the standard wheels for the regular RS6, which, if memory serves, were 21s. I don't know, yeah, ceramic brakes, which look fantastic, obviously. There isn't anything wrong visually with this car. I mean, I always find kind of funny the contrast between the height of the wheel, if you look at it this way, and the narrowness of the front fender. It's funny, but that's muscle, that's power. That's flares. I mean, following one of these, the car looks like it's 3 times wider than it is tall. It's just glorious. I mean, and there's no bumper per se here, but it's all business. It's just exceptional. I mean, there's no real point to do a tour on the interior. There are upgrades too, a few option packages available with the car, which this one doesn't have, like a blue belt. It's a full, beautiful layout on the interior, but what you do get with the Performance, you get a Alcantara steering wheel, and also new different trim. This is the optional carbon fiber, which is, it's matte too. It's not gloss, so you can actually feel the weave and the texture. It's phenomenal. Yeah, the emotions part, it just really takes over from me. Because it's an RS6, because it's an Avant. As always, I mean, now the seat is positioned in the easy entry exit, but you can sit too, which is fantastic. And you know, I don't know why I'm showing you this, but you know, power hatch, big trunk. I mean, I don't know why anyone would get an SUV when this is available, because it's just so spectacular. I guess I'll just start it up quickly. You have your displays, which are all included with the car, obviously. I mean, this is top-end car. Drive select modes have been revised. I'll touch on that a little bit, but here's a quick rundown. Yes, continue. Quick rundown of what you're looking at. Hello, thank you. So yeah, you can program your RS modes, which is fantastic. Efficiency, I don't know. Comfort, I've heard of that. Auto, because you don't want to go into dynamic, or set your RS buttons, which are accessible via here in your steering wheel, so you don't actually have to play through the dynamic select button. What else do you say about the interior of a car that makes me feel things? You know what, I'm going to stop there before this becomes R-rated, or is that RS rated? Let's go for a drive. Nice view, right? That stupid grin, right? Look, I was about to say that, you know, driving the car or the Performance is on par with how good this car looks, but no, that's total BS, because the RS6 Performance, though the changes are subtle, somehow, I don't want to say have transformed what this car is, but the changes have definitely brought it to the next level. So we're still looking at a mild hybrid 4-liter V8 engine, twin turbo, though now the turbos are a little bit bigger. Boost is up from 2.4 bar to 2.6 bar. So what you get now is, instead of 590 American horsepower, you get, or 591, pardon me, you're up to 621, and torque increases from 590 pound-feet to 627 pound-feet. Now, you know, percentage-wise, those changes aren't that great, but it's the other tweaks that Audi Sport has done to the RS6 that somehow make this car even more aggressive, but still just as docile as the regular run-of-the-mill RS6. Like, the shift points and the shifting has been reprogrammed. The drive select modes have been also reprogrammed to provide a greater gap or differentiation between, you know, whatever, let's see. So we have, you know, efficiency, comfort, auto, and dynamic, and then you have, through dynamic, the various RS modes, which you can program. But it's staggering, the power, and it's just as I don't know. See, it's the emotions that are taking over. I can't even think straight. Also, I just left a series of twisties. We are in Napa Valley, and now it's just boring road because we're headed to the PCH. Where else? I'm complaining for no reason. But yeah, so the 0 to 100 kilometer an hour time has dropped from 3.6 to 3.4. Again, it's a very small increment of change, but it is massive. It is massive. I'm finding out now that I've programmed my RS1 mode with the dampers in comfort and everything else more or less in dynamic. I don't know, it's even more reactive than it once was. It's wonderful. I mean, at 50% throttle input, it wants to go even harder. Now, obviously, I'm behind a lorry, but it just absolutely moves. Now, if we go back to the twisties, some of the changes which I pointed out, you know, the 22-inch wheels and the Continental tires, this car also has dynamic ride control, which, as you may or may not know, the air suspension is standard. And I've always championed anything with an air suspension as being the right choice, especially for the greater Montreal area. And that also applies to Toronto. And though we are in California, I must say that the DRC is, even in comfort mode, just a little too sharp. It's like the air suspension gives you just a little bit more forgiveness. And I think that overall handling prowess, like just steering response and all of that, would feel the same to 99.9% of us drivers. I mean, yeah, the tires do shorten braking distances by like up to 2 meters and improve on a number of other points. But that's fine. You get that for 24. But opting for the DRC, dynamic ride control, I'm not convinced that it's the right way to go. Unless you plan on tracking this car, which Audi Sport says that sure you can, but it's not meant for that. What more can I say? I mean, the car feels insanely fast, and it's that swell of torque that we're about to experience right now as I go just this much over the speed limit. Unfreaking believable. It's the most gentle slap in the back of the head you've ever had in your entire life. Well, maybe on your forehead then. What else can I say? Ceramic brakes. I mean, they're extraordinary, but again, another one of those options that unless you plan on tracking it, it's just adding to the style as far as I'm concerned. I'm not complaining about ceramic brakes and saying they're useless. I'm just saying maybe save some money to get, you know, more tires for your regular RS6 performance. I think that's about it. As we close in on construction, this car is as exceptional as it has always been, and it remains absolutely on the very top of my most wanted list.